When I was a kid in the early 2000s, my parents bought me a Bachmann HO scale Casey Jones train set, and the locomotive that it came with was Bachmann's ubiquitous USRA 060. But unfortunately, Bachmann's build quality wasn't all that great at the time, and growing up, I went through about 5 or 6 of those 060s. Bachmann has improved this model drastically over the years, but the one that I currently have is starting to show its age, so I thought it was time to, instead of simply buying another disposable Bachmann, look for a better alternative. And I found one. This is a Walthers Proto 2000 USRA 060. These were first released in the early 2000s, not long after I got my first Bachmann, but they were quite expensive, and now I understand why. Although they've been out of production for quite a while, I got a good deal on a used one, and after so many train set quality Bachmanns, I was absolutely blown away by the detail on the Proto 2000. Even my high-end Spectrum models don't have this level of detail. Look at these bell and whistle cords. I've never seen these on another model. They seem to be made of some kind of wire, and it's so thin that I don't want to touch it for fear of breaking it, but it looks amazing. The Bachmann version barely has a whistle, much less a whistle cord. I've actually improved the look of this Bachmann quite a lot by painting the molded-on details to make them stand out, but even so, it looks like a cheap plastic toy compared to the Proto 2000. Also, looking at these two together, I'm beginning to notice a lot of weird things about the Bachmann that I never saw before. For instance, the smokestack on the Bachmann is extremely thick, much more so than it should be in scale, because these Bachmanns have a smoke unit and it needs a large opening for the smoke to come out of. For the record, it's a terrible smoke unit and I took it out of mine. The Bachmann also doesn't have this narrow bunker on the tender, which most of the real ones had. This was for better visibility backing up, since this was a switch engine. And don't even get me started on the cab detailing. It's barely alluded to on the Bachmann, but on the Proto 2000, there's so much detail that it seems like I could just reach in there and operate the engine. Although they are both clearly models of the same class of engine, the Bachmann is obviously built to a price point, and the Proto 2000 is built to be as accurate as possible. And as many nostalgic memories as I have of the Bachmann models, I don't think I have to tell you which one I prefer now. Anyway, let's take the Proto 2000 for a spin. This is one of the best running engines I've ever tested, steam or otherwise. It runs silky smooth and quiet, and the low speed performance is astonishing. It is geared for very low speed, which is understandable because the real thing was a switch engine that would probably never see over 30 miles an hour in its lifetime. Now, if you want one of these, I have some bad news. They are getting very hard to find since they went out of production. I got mine used from trains.com, that's trains with a Z, which is a good used retailer. They got in 3 or 4 of them and they went for very good prices, and they went fast. By the time mine arrived in the mail, the rest of them were all sold. So unfortunately, they don't have any more. Keep an eye on eBay. I mean, you can always find a few of them on eBay, but usually for pretty high prices, like around $200 to $300. I paid $137 US plus shipping for mine, which is a fantastic deal. Absolutely jump on one if you can find it for that price. Mine is not in absolutely perfect shape. It's missing a tender step, but for the most part, it's in darn good shape. Certainly amazing shape for the price I paid, and I am very, very happy with it. Anyway, if you can find one, they're a brilliant little engine. Absolutely get one if you get a good deal on it. And until then, we can only hope that Bachmann will improve theirs. They are releasing a DCC and sound version later this year, so fingers crossed that they update the detailing a little bit. For now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.